Howdy folks, I went yard sale hopping this weekend and I found an electric planer by Makita. That's a good brand name, that's a good planer if it works. There was one problem. It'd been sitting on the bench all day and nobody wanted to buy it. Reason was, that right there, yeah. It really needs a new power cord. So for $5, I could not say no. Let's repair it and let's see if it works. So this is the $5 find for the week, for the weekend for yard sale hopping. Pretty fussy about tools generally, so something like this was kind of like uninteresting, but at the same time it's a good example. It's got a bad cable right here. You can see the, you really get close up there. Yeah, it's pretty messed up. And also it looks like it's already had a little bit of something or other down here. So this one's had a few accidents. At this point, we could just roll up some electrical tape on it and call it a day, but I think it's worth it to go ahead and just put a new power cable on it. So ran over to the big box store and bought this here. This is just a basic power tool. Now it's upside down. Yeah, that works better. Yeah, power tool. It's a workshop replacement cord. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind, and this is rated for 15 amp. So most power tools are pretty much rated up to 15 amps, so there shouldn't be any problem. And in fact, I know there isn't, because this is definitely not 15 amp. This is the rating on this thing is 4 amps, so it really doesn't even need a heavy cable like this on here. And in fact, this cable is actually just too big for the machine, actually. So first thing we got to do is locate the screws in the handle, which are obviously right here. And take those off, open the handle up so we can expose the electrical wiring and just see how much of a mess we're into. Yeah, and get the old number 2 Phillips out and get the screws out of there. And let's see if we can have a look at this thing and just see how, like I said, how much hassle it's going to be. Putting the bigger power cable in is going to be a little bit of a hassle, but I think we can make it happen. Well, I hope so. Let's see, screw number 1, screw number 2. Looks like 4 screws holding the handle on. I like Makita. They're, if I had my choice and I had unlimited funds, I would probably have Makita and Bosch would be my 2 main power tools laying all over the shop, but life isn't like that. So we do whatever we can to, get by. And the planer in this case, I didn't mind spending $5 because let's face it, the planer doesn't get used that often anyway, so to have only $5 tied up in it is kind of a happy thought. Yep, and there we are. Wow, we've got a little bit of old plain stuff in there. And it's got terminal connections, which is kind of cool. That's pretty neat. And of course we have a clamp here. So first thing we have to do is get all this out of here. And we've got this is a double switch, looks like. It has a hot, and it has we should have a ground in here. I don't know if we do. It doesn't. Yeah, it's well, let's get it out of there and just see what we got. Get the switch out. Okay, so we'll take our neutral off. Okay. Okay, so there's our neutral, all wound up in this mess. There's a black hot coming in. I don't think there's a ground in this one. I don't believe the tool came with a ground. Shame on you, Makita. Oh yeah. But we got, we'll get this out of here shortly. Come on, there we go. And get the screw off. Yeah, these are solderless connectors, and I've got lots of them. It's another thing, of course, you need to have around the old shop. There's lots of solderless connectors like this, so you can take stuff like this apart and make a mess. So the hot was up on top here, and the neutral was down here, and we'll stick with that plan, even though well, I'm not going to get into it. It's electrical theory, but yeah. No, the motor won't go backwards. Not with AC. But, and you've got paint on these screws to make sure nobody ever gets in here to do anything. That's interesting. Wow, wait. Yeah. So we've got the clamp off. Good. Now, we could pretty much, yeah, just cut this off and slide this. I want to keep this piece, of course, for the new cable. And it looks like we're probably, yep, no, okay, we can throw it out of there. All right. So there's the old cable there with the old terminal connectors, and we'll just set that aside. We'll get out the new big boy. This cable is a little too heavy for this job. I really wished I hadn't bought that now. So here's the new cable I want to throw on here, and it's got one problem. It's a little bit sloppy right here. So in order to just build that up a little bit, we're just going to throw a little bit of tape on it to make it thicker, and that'll actually create a little bit of a spot there. And also, I'll probably put tape where the clamp is in order to clamp the cable in, but we'll just wrap some good old black tape around here, make a big old black tape knot. Yeah. And pull it back in here. Oh, wow. There we go. And now that cable is actually held, and just make sure I got enough cable, which yes I do. In fact, I have just enough cable. So we're going to do what they call the banana split. Some of the old-timer electricians and stuff would know what I'm talking about, and we just cut straight into it like that and start peeling it back. Hopefully, oh boy, that's some good rubber. Yeah, there we go. Oh, boy, that's some strong stuff. Okay, that's plenty of cable out for, well, what we're going to be doing anyway, so I'm just going to trim that off. And the next thing I'm going to do is check this and see. The clamp might need the same thing, so I'm going to put a bunch of tape on here again so the clamp has something to grab against, because I think this cable is just smaller than the old cable. Yep, yeah, that's that modern stuff, you know. Yep, and put a few wraps of tape on it. That should give the clamp a good chance to get a good bite on that, I hope. And there's our clamp. Oh wow, that's an interesting clamp. I don't know, you can see it's cammed on both sides, so it's going to pinch down on the wire. Wow, no matter what I do. So okay, so we'll get that in place, get that going, I hope. Yeah. Yeah, if you ever have to do this, find an electrician buddy of yours and let him do it. Yeah. Yep. And there we go. So we're gonna pull the old clamp up as tight as we, well, reasonably snug. It's just, you got to remember sometimes this stuff is just plastic, so you don't want to over torque it. And we've got more than enough cable up here for the wire, and also because there's no ground on this machine, we're just going to cut that out of there. Just don't need it, unfortunately. It is what it is. But so that's gone. Now we have our two little connectors here, and I'm going to take a quick look at the switch. Let's put that switch back in for a second. I just want to see how much wire I need. I really don't need all this wire, but I think we're going to use, yeah, about up to about there. I just looked to see where it was pretty much relaxed. It was pushed back a little bit. There we go. Now, next thing I got to do, terminal connections. Yes. Now for wire strippers, I like these old styles, but you got to be kind of careful that you use the right size. And then check the twist on the wiring. Make sure it's nice and clean. Same with this one here. We want, in this case, I've got maybe 3/8 to almost a 1/2 inch of copper showing. Now, if you ever see these pair of pliers around, you can be sure that what you're looking at is a tradesman, because these are old Thomas and Bet crimp connectors, and these were just, only the trades were running around with these things for years. So I'm going to put my two new terminal connectors on. I went through my boxes of collections of terminal connectors and found these. These are absolutely awesome. They're just the best. And always do a little pull thing, make sure they're on there real tight and that they've got a good connection. Yeah, same with this one here. And you'll notice too with these particular Thomas and Betts, they have been around for so long. I've had these things since I was like 17 years old, so they've seen a lot of terrible days. but these are a good set of crimpers. I could give you a couple brand names, but you know that is the epitome of just the best. Now we've got to take a look at the switch here, and the hot for some reason was up top here, so we're going to put that one screw back into it. At least we're going to try. And it was kind of a weird tight fit that Makita. I keep wanting to say Milwaukee today. I got a Milwaukee thing on the brain or something. And there's the neutral connection. I'm not sure again why they had like I guess they've got what they call like a double contact switch in here, so the neutral and the hot is broken when you open the switch. Kind of, yeah. It's one of those two things that they used to do. So now hopefully I've got that all yep, nice and snugged up, and we'll put the switch back in where we found it, which should be, is that you? I guess that was you. Yeah. Theoretically, don't like the way this switch was held in here, but you know, there it is. And let's see, everybody, we're having a little trouble back here. Yep. Okay, that's good. Yep. Okay. Yeah, at some point you just get a little lazy and decide, you know, this is the fastest, meanest way to get the job done. Oh yeah, that's tight now. Yeah. Okay. And you'll notice I'm putting them in real easy. I mean, I'm really, you know, being careful and everything. Yeah, there we go. Yep. And that one there, and that one there. Okay. Now, we've got a nice fresh cable in there. And this can go straight in the garbage can, I guess. It's had its day. Okay, so, hey, well, I have power now. So, let's plug her in. Boom! You know, and there's our, yeah, let's see how we do. Well, lots of spinning, which is good. Okay, so now what we have to do is throw up a piece of wood and plane it and figure out whether we're good to go or not. I'm pretty sure the blades and everything else look pretty good. The belt seems to be okay on it, so really that was the reason it would not sell at a yard sale. That's kind of sad, but that's the truth of it, you know. Yeah, and we're back. I've got a piece of just a scrap piece of lumber in the vise here, and here's the new $5 Makita. It's also set to take approximately a 1/64th, so it's not going to take a whole lot of shavings off right now. It's going to make a single pass, and it will be pretty minimal. Now, when you use one of these, try to make sure that this plate at the front here is nice and flat on your lumber. Get your thing wound up good, and then go all the way through. You know, don't stop or hesitate. Yeah, you won't like it. Here we go. You ready? All right. Beautiful. Yep. Did a great job. Really don't have any complaints. That actually did for an old electric planer, that did a nice job. Now I have this big mess to clean up. Let's go back to the big bench here and talk about it. I think the message is clear. It's everything it needs to be, and it's not a tool that I use very often, so just having one for $5 and a new cord, well, fairly new cord, kicking around makes it worthwhile. Now, if I could just tie wrap, I guess I could probably tie wrap this, because I'll be honest with you, electric planer, maybe once every 2 years or something, but it's still it's a nice item to have. So maybe I can just tuck that up at the handle like that, and that way we can just sort of, we can just store the little gizmo for $5. It's a good name, good brand name. Thank you for watching Coffee and Tools. Please like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications if need be. YouTube they keep changing with the algorithm. Apparently right now they're looking at shorts and shorts that tie into long videos and all this other business going on, because they're competing with TikTok or something. So I put my first shorts up today. You may or may not see it, and we'll continue to put shorts up, I guess. It's really all about, with the shorts thing, I'm going to bow to them and play the game. I'll go ahead and put some shorts up, but really, it's really not what this was about. This is about coming by the garage and seeing what we're working on this week, you know, that sort of thing. So, yeah, it's not what YouTube wants, I guess. Anyways, guys, thanks for viewing, and I'm out of here. Over and out.